Jonathan Pitre, the Ottawa teenager known as the Butterfly Boy, has died.
Glad we just got in from Philly. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Oh, come on. We got a house.
We brought the whole team for you.
Pitre had a long relationship with the Ottawa Senators. They visited him at the Minnesota hospital where he was treated for a rare disease that left his skin fragile and blistered. Pitre succumbed Wednesday night to complications of septic shock. He'd been battling an antibiotic-resistant infection. He was 17 years old. TSN's James Duthie was a close friend of the family, and James joins us now from Augusta, Georgia, where he's there covering the Masters and taking time to speak with us this morning. James, good morning to you, and our condolences, because Jonathan was a pal of yours. We've got a photo of the two of you. What are you thinking right now about him, and what went through your mind when you heard the news?
Well, I think devastating as it would be, although I guess part of me was relieved that he isn't in pain anymore. I'm trying to do is whatever we do when we lose somebody we're close to is to try and think of the positive. And I can't get over how much Jonathan achieved, particularly in the later years of his life. When he and his mother, Tina, decided to share their story, first with the Ottawa Citizen and then with us and then really with the world, that was an incredibly brave thing to do, to put yourself out like that. What he went through, and they wanted to show exactly what he went through, which is really painful to watch and to look at, but he wanted the world to see what this disease is like. And I think really in his last few years, he found his purpose in that. That he could educate people about EB, which is one of the most painful diseases known to mankind, and nobody really knew anything about except those who suffered from it. And I think he took great joy in that fact and the ability to raise some money and perhaps help kids down the road who suffered from the same thing.
What did you learn from him?
Oh, man, so much. From the second I first met the guy, when he came into TSN, it had said at the bottom of the first article I read about him that he wanted to be a sportscaster, so we brought him back to TSN, put him on the panel, and he was a natural, by the way. He probably could have done that. But just to, it's awful that you have to see someone else's pain to appreciate what you have, but I think everyone that met Jonathan, I think he was okay with that. For him to have the courage he did, from the second he was born, he was in constant pain, an agonizing pain. His entire body blistered, including his throat. Every simple thing that we take for granted hurt him to do, including eating and drinking. And for him to never have any self-pity, to still be kind and generous and have a sense of humor was just the most remarkable thing ever.
We mentioned that you're close with the family. Have you had a chance to reach out to them?
Yeah, I spoke with Jonathan's mother, Tina, yesterday before the news was out. And, frankly, I feel so badly for her. Her entire life essentially has been dedicated to Jonathan. Never had a vacation, never really had a day off, never wanted one, because all she wanted to do was try to help him and make his life better. And they took a big chance in going down to Minnesota and trying this stem cell transplant that they hoped would improve his life. And he fought so hard for the last couple of years to make that happen. So I think she's the other side of the story that deserves as much attention as Jonathan. The dedication of a mother to go through that for her son is it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, well, we wish her, the family, our very best, our prayers, our condolences. James, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us and reflecting on the special relationship that the two of you had.
My pleasure. I would talk about Jonathan any day. He deserves every bit of it.
You take care. We'll take a quick break and be right back.